I would say that you are now on a place where we have borrowed something from you to protect you, and we have taken great pain to be sure that you are protected. We also need you to know that this place should not be disturbed, and we want you to know that this is not a place for you to live in. You should stay away from this place, and then you will be safe.
I am now in this place where you should never come. We call it Onkalo. Onkalo means hiding place. In my time it is still unfinished, though work began in the 20th century when I was just a child. Work will be completed in the 22nd century, long after my death. Onkalo must last 100,000 years. Nothing built by man has lasted even a tenth of that time span. But we consider ourselves a very potent civilization. If we succeed, Onkalo will most likely be the longest lasting remains of our civilization. If you, sometime far into the future, find this, what would it tell you about us?
Once mankind started to use nuclear power to generate electricity, it was obvious that we will also generate some waste, which has to be treated so that it doesn't harm anybody. And you can't make nuclear waste go away. You cannot make nuclear waste harmless. So several ways how to get rid of the waste were explored.
Send it in the rocket out to the sun. It disappears, it will never make harm to anyone.
How to ensure that the rocket doesn't explode on the launching pad or sinking it to deep sea.
We would never be able to claim that we can safely put something into the bottom of the oceans, because still we have an impression that the oceans are really the mother of all life. It's not a safe way of handling spent nuclear fuel or radioactive waste.
How much waste exists in the world today, totally?
I'm not quite aware. I would say between 200,000 and 300,000 tons, somewhere between these two.
If this waste spills out into nature, it'll cause death and destruction. Large areas will become uninhabitable for a long, long time. Did that happen? Are there forbidden zones with no life in your time?
100 years ago, just 3 human generations ago, when radiation was first discovered, we didn't understand that it was very dangerous, but we noticed that it can be useful, and we started to work with it. Radiation is a sort of energy which can penetrate deep into your body and harm your health. But it is an invisible danger. We have no sense for it. You cannot see it, feel it, or smell it. And still, it may even kill you. Radiation then can be described as small packages of energy, and when they hit the genetic code, DNA molecule, they can break it, split it. If you have a very, very serious whole body exposure, you don't feel anything until 1 hour or so afterwards, where you start to feel nausea and you may vomit and you may think you have got a food poisoning. And in between you may feel better, but only after 2 weeks you start to bleed, you have diarrhea and fever. And if after a few weeks you may even die from this. Radiation can also leave a trace in you. It can change the genes, mutate the genes. It will cause malformation or disease or dysfunction. So beware. Never stay in an area with an enhanced radiation level, and never ever touch upon a strong radiation source.
So we are storing the waste today above ground in water pools.
The reason why it's kept in water pools is that water creates a shield for radiation.
Keeping the waste in tanks, this is probably possible for the next 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, 1,000 years.
You just can't guarantee stable conditions above ground, for instance, for 100 years, let alone thousands of years. These storages, they need surveillance, they need power in order to cool the water pools, they need maintenance. But we can't keep this waste forever in the water pools.
has been 2 world wars during the last 100 years. The world above ground is unstable.